Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm impressed how ColdFusion 2020 is embracing containerization and multi-cloud. It's, a very exciting time to be a ColdFusion developer right now, because I know cloud development is like so in demand. So the idea that with ColdFusion 2020 we can do this kind of thing really easily, um, you know, it's it's like a free boost to your career.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, welcome back to the show. I'm here with Kishore Balakrishnan, and we're going to be talking about CF Summit West 2019, all that's new, and there's a lot new in this. So, new location in Las Vegas, some new speakers and topics, sneak peeks about ColdFusion 2020, and also some exciting pre-conference classes that we'll get into, been selling like hotcakes. So very cool stuff. So welcome, Kishore.
Thanks, Michaela. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And just in case you don't know, he is now the principal product marketing manager at Adobe. He got a promotion because he's been doing such great work marketing ColdFusion. And not only that, he still codes in ColdFusion on occasion when he's not, figuring out how to market the product and putting together amazing events like CF Summit with the other team members there. And he does a lot of listening to customers to help understand what's going on, and also explaining to people why ColdFusion is the best language to use these days. So, and lives in India, where he's calling us from. So, welcome.
Thanks, Michaela.
I see you're a runner too. I didn't realize that.
Yes,
marathon. Are you going to be doing a run in Las Vegas?
Inside.
Just inside the casino. I'll let the cat out of the bag. The location.
Inside the fitness center. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Run in the fitness center. There you go. But the hotel itself is enormous. I don't know if you've seen it, but the Mirage is like, they have that volcano outside, and then they have the tigers inside, and then they have a zillion rooms. And then, of course, there's the whole ballroom and conference center where we're going to be. So it's like a small city.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should just back up. And for anyone who doesn't know what CF Summit is, what exactly is it?
CF Summit, I put it as, one place where all the ColdFusion developers, designers, strategists and thought leaders come to provide. It's a perfect forum for them to exchange ideas and draw inspiration from each other and share their experiences. And what we had seen is our crowd is typically around 60% developers, and you have close to 30% decision makers in the crowd. And it's also one place wherein you get to see all the ColdFusion developers. That's one place where you get to meet the actual ColdFusion developers who develop the product and interact with them as well. And it's also one place wherein they also could interact with. It's sort of a place where you could get some ideas from each other. It's not everyday occurrence that a ColdFusion developer who's developing ColdFusion, that is the Adobe engineers, get to interact with the developers, with the actual ColdFusion developers, to know how the features which they are developed are being utilized.
I know you have about 20 members of the engineering team there, or thereabouts. It's amazing. So if you've got something you'd want to see in ColdFusion future version, or there's some bug that's been getting to you, great place to talk to people and get on it. So why else should all ColdFusion developers go to CF Summit?
This year we are launching, that's also a great place where you could listen to, get to know about. We have 40 plus sessions from the top ColdFusion developers in the community. And also this year we're launching ColdFusion Specialist Certification again. It's a certificate program. And we also have two pre-conference sessions, one by Charlie Earhart and the other one by Pete Freitag. So all this for $99 for the 2-day conference. And if you have to take the certification, I don't see of any other conference providing with so much in for such a low price.
It's amazing. I mean, the event itself is still $99. I think that's the best deal on a conference you're ever going to see, particularly in Las Vegas. I looked at some other developer conferences in Las Vegas, and you're talking about at least $1,000 for a ticket.
Yes.
So this is and obviously Adobe, put some of the marketing budget in order to subsidize the tickets, so to help more people. So there's no excuse to not to come. So you mentioned the specialist certification. Right? Tell us briefly about that, and I'll link to the episode I did. I did an interview with Alicia on that in detail, but just in a few sentences, what is this certification thing?
So we had I'm sorry.
The certification's so big it's causing you to cough.
Nothing like that. So the thing is, we used to have ACE certification, I think, up till CF9, and the sort of interest sort of died down on the certification. And over the past couple of years, what we had listened from our developers is that it will be good to have a certificate program for them to showcase their capabilities. And also from what we had heard from our customers, the accounts is basically that they are finding it difficult to get ColdFusion developers. So what we are thinking is this certification is a way wherein you could, if someone takes certification, if you have taken ACE certification, that there's a ACE portal in which companies could actually go and see, okay, who are all the ColdFusion certified specialists in my area.
So people who pass this certificate will be put in that portal. They'll find getting jobs easier, yes. Or maybe if they stay in the same company, they might get a promotion easier.
Yeah, something like that. It aids in the career development of the developers as well. So it works both ways. It's also for to easily find out where the ColdFusion developers are and who are those guys. Maybe this certification is one place wherein it makes it easier for them to gain a foothold into the company.
Well, there must be hundreds of thousands of ColdFusion developers out there, so this is a way to stand out from the masses.
Exactly. So we started promoting the certificate program 4 months back, and we had clearly laid out that there's a lot of pre-work also involved in the certificate program. And we are very glad that there are close to 130 registrations as of now.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the certificate program is itself going to be 3 sessions at CF Summit. 3 tracks at CF Summit.
Oh, okay. And it's probably a bit late for anyone to sign up for that because you have to do 2 or 3 weeks of training ahead of time, unless you're able to watch videos really quickly. Because I think it comes to like 23 hours of training videos. I guess you could cram that into a week if you were intense. And the other thing I just want to mention to listeners is, even if you've done ColdFusion for a long time, you're still going to learn something new from doing this, because it covers CF 2018 and it covers things you may not have tried out yourself. So.
Yes.
Cool. And then I guess that's short. How long CF Summit been going? It's quite a while, isn't it?
It's been 7 years.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, this is the 7th year. Yeah.
And do you have any idea how many folks you're expecting to come? Or
currently, we have close to 475 registrations.
Wow.
And all these are paid registrations. So I'm expecting the number to hit around 500.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yes.
So why is this so important to the ColdFusion community, and why does Adobe put so much time and effort and money into the CF Summit?
See, the thing is, we have always battled a perception problem. The perception that CF is dead, not coming, whether a new release is coming up, and whether Adobe is backing ColdFusion or not. So that is a primary reason why we started off with ColdFusion. And once we started off, we realized that the number of new developers who are joining the ecosystem. I think last year, we figured out more than 65% of the people who came to the CF Summit last year were first-time attendees of any of the ColdFusion conferences. You were there last year when we did it at Hard Rock. So, and I'm sure you had come there for twice.
Yeah, I
Last
mean,
time
there's
was
always new
second or third.
people coming.
There's always new people who are coming in, and there's always new companies who are there, new accounts who are being represented, and it's one place where learning is definitely there, but the other impact is knowing that, oh, this company is using ColdFusion. There are so many other accounts who are using ColdFusion. There are so many other developers who are using ColdFusion. So in far as it goes, this forms a part of a community building exercise for us.
That makes sense, because you have some networking events. There's an evening
Exactly.
party and lunch every day that your Adobe pays for. So great ways to meet a lot of people. And of course,
And
there's a
also
whole.
what we had seen over the years is like, people who attend one year want to speak at the event next year. So we are getting new speakers as well into the ecosystem.
That is great, because although I admire the people who've spoken 10 or 20 times or whatever,
Oh yeah.
it's good to encourage people to speak for the first time.
Mhm.
And I know from myself, when I first started public speaking, I was pretty nervous about it. So encouraging new speakers is a good thing. So speaking of the speakers, who are some of the speakers you're excited about this year and why?
So we have a content committee which I think Alicia heads, and they had an open call for papers. I think we opened it up in February or March. There were around 160 different topics which are submitted, and actually it's slightly more than that. I know of the topic 160 because I remember when I sent a mail out to her saying that, hey, we already have so many. Would you have a chance to go over all of this? And the committee actually went through all the submissions. So uh, almost all of them are. I'm very excited about all the sessions. My only concern is that might not be able to go to more than 10 different sessions over there.
I thought you lived in a Docker instance now and you could just kind of cluster yourself to go to as many
I think I
sessions
might
you
have to
want.
get Charlie's help over that, because Charlie,
Oh, okay.
main guy who's going to talk about
Yes.
Dockers and things like that. And
Okay.
Charlie has been. There are some people in the speaker list who have been presenting in almost all the conferences. Like Charlie is there. Mike would have at least presented in 4 or 5. Dave Ferguson is there. Dave Ferguson has presented in almost all the conferences. And our security czar, I think Pete Freitag has almost always been there. Brian Klaas, Giancarlo Gomez. Uh, I'm very excited this year to see what Matt Gifford brings, because this is the first time. I'd heard a lot about him, but this is the first time I think we'll be having him at Summit, and or at least this is the first time I'll be seeing him at Summit.
So just explain to our listeners how that committee picks what topics and speakers are going to be at Summit. What's the criteria?
That's something I think which you need to ask Alicia about, because I
Oh,
normally
okay.
don't get involved
Okay.
in that aspect.
But you've got a wide variety of topics all about different angles of ColdFusion. So,
Yes.
and like you mentioned, you've got some experienced speakers. You've also got some new speakers. There are some speakers from Adobe, like Ashish and Rakshit,
Yes.
and Alicia is there. But there's also most of the speakers are not Adobe staff. They're people from companies using ColdFusion.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the topics. There's, like you said, there's 40 plus topics. I listed them out in the show notes on the TerraTech site. Any of these particularly exciting for you this year?
I would like to know about the JavaScript frameworks and how they work with ColdFusion. That's why I'm particularly interested in Matt Gifford's talk. because he's talking about Vue and Vue.js to see how that will be helpful in creating, reactive applications. And we also have from one session from Uday Ogra, uh, where he is talking about, I think he's going to compare all the different JS frameworks. And since I'm from marketing, I would like to know about the real-time personalization, what Brian Sappy is going to talk about. Uh, these are some of the major topics for me. So people might have different topics, different interests, but I think we have got all of them covered.
Yeah, it's amazing what's covered. I'm seeing things on WebSockets and how to have some real time stuff in your app, and whole bunch of dynamic PDF generation for the financial letters, testing details, and I see a thing called Rulebox, which I'm guessing is from the Audis guys who do all the
Yes.
products. So way to improve your code. Better security with sorting your passwords, and document workflow, moving from legacy to modern CFML, which is something close to my heart. So augmented reality, even with ColdFusion. So maybe that was one you were talking about with React. So yeah, it's amazing. And one of the things I'm most excited about is hearing more about ColdFusion 2020 that's going to release next year. At
Yes.
a date to be determined, but sometime in the middle of the year.
Yes. So Rakshit is going to talk about what his plans are for 2020, and we have already started working on 2020 release, and maybe he might show some code snippets as well. I'm very interested
Code
about
snippets,
that.
yes.
Yes.
I'm interested in seeing it run on the cloud effectively, and some of these microservices, and just the I don't know if they can, if they will have got the size of the install smaller by then, but I know that when I spoke with Ashish.
I think you might have to wait for the keynote and Rakshit session to get that information.
To get all that info.
Yes.
Well, I did have an interview with Ashish a few weeks back, and he did say some of the things, but I'm sure he saved some big surprises.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So very cool. So as well as that, let's just talk a bit about the pre-conference classes. You mentioned them earlier, and we talked about the certification in detail. But what about the other two classes? They're going from 0 to 60 with Docker and ColdFusion images that Charlie's teaching, and hands-on ColdFusion security workshop with Pete.
So Pete, I don't know whether you had been there in any of the other pre-conferences, but Pete's pre-conference is always one of the best attended pre-conference sessions, because obviously everyone wants to know about security and how they could harden their servers and stuff like that. And Pete does an amazing job. He has this one website wherein he goes through all different permutations, combinations, and it's pretty engaging. And if you have not attended Pete's session, make sure that you attend at least once his sessions to understand what you're missing from a security perspective. And Charlie is offering the going from 0 to 60 with Docker and ColdFusion images for the first time. This is a departure from what Charlie used to offer before, but I think with Adobe's emphasis on Dockers, but the world is now moving towards containerization. I think this would be a good, if you don't know anything about Docker images or just going to start with Dockers, I think this is the session for you guys to be in.
Yeah, if people listening haven't played around with Docker or Command Box, which is a free tool that lets you run these things really easy, definitely worth looking at that and trying it out. Makes your whole development production cycle much easier and less error prone. So also a lot faster to put up a server.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's amazing. And I'm impressed how ColdFusion 2020 is embracing containerization and multi-cloud. It's a very exciting time to be a ColdFusion developer right now, because I know cloud development is like so in demand. So the idea that with ColdFusion 2020, we can do this kind of thing really easily. You know, it's like a free boost to your career.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I noticed that there are some post-conference classes that Audis are putting on. I don't know if you know about those, but I had
Yes, we do.
a look around. So they've got a code box from
They
zero to
got two, I
hero.
think, this time
Yeah,
around.
two. Yeah, there's an intro to code box, the zero to
Mm.
hero, and then there's intermediate or advanced code box, which is hero to superhero API edition.
API, yeah.
Yeah, and they're happening in I think Thursday, Friday of the week after the main
After
conference.
the summit, yes.
Yeah, it's in the same location. So very exciting. And CodeBox is a popular, I think it's the most popular ColdFusion framework out there. So
Yes, from the survey that you had sent across, that is the most popular framework that people are using.
yeah, I'll put a link to the State of the Union
Yes.
survey. But yes, it is that and Framework One and CF Wheels and
Mm.
Fusebox still. I'll put a note in the show notes there. All right. So, are there any special events in the evening for folks, or what?
Yes, we have a dinner at the Still. Uh,
A
we have
dinner?
a reception at the Still. Actually, it's not a dinner; it's a reception at
Yes.
the Still from 6 o'clock to
What's
8:30.
the still?
Still is a restaurant, so once you get out of your elevator bank, I think it's right there. You can't miss it. It's right in the corner when you turn towards the conference room.
Oh, is that where they have those tigers parading around? Or
Oh no.
no? Okay, I may be
Unfortunately,
confused.
the Tiger Park is somewhere where you can't serve liquor, so I'm sorry about
Oh, that's because tigers have an insatiable appetite for liquor,
that.
as well as ColdFusion developers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because ColdFusion developers are crunchy with ketchup. Just kidding. So just to clarify, when exactly is CF Summit? It starts on
So
Monday.
the pre-conference sessions and the ColdFusion certificate program is on September 30th
Hmm.
and
So
October 1st and
Monday the
2nd.
30th. Yeah.
Monday the 30th, and Tuesday and Wednesday, October 1st and 2nd, is the ColdFusion conference.
All right. And if people come to this, how much? We mentioned it's $99, but do they have to buy their own lunch and breakfast and stuff, or
No.
no?
So Adobe will provide them with breakfast, lunch, and
Breaks
the reception party on October 1st.
and you get afternoon tea break or coffee
Oh yeah,
break or something.
definitely. So
Yeah.
those are all included.
Wow.
You have your tea break, snacks, everything is included.
I think if you just stayed in Las Vegas for 3 days, went to Starbucks, went to breakfast, and ate lunch, you'd spend more than $99 just for the food.
Oh, definitely.
So what a deal. So we mentioned earlier it's at the Mirage Hotel, and for folks who don't know, that's a famous and well-established hotel, been there for like at least 30 years, I think, maybe more. It's on the Las Vegas Strip, which is the main, like where all the big casino places are.
Mm.
I will warn people attending there is a casino in the hotel.
Yes, there is a casino in the hotel,
And that's
and
true of every hotel in Las Vegas,
you have to
basically.
walk through the casino to go to your rooms.
Yes, yes.
That is
So if you like casinos, you can entertain yourself in the casino. If you don't, you just cover your eyes and kind of walk through.
Mm.
Um,
Just
and
walk
it's
on the carpet.
yes, there you go. Just stay on the carpet. You can make it through the casino.
Mm.
And it's only a few miles from the airport, so very convenient. And just for people who've never been to Las Vegas, it's incredibly cheap to buy plane tickets to Vegas. And often you can get a direct flight. Southwest Airlines flies to Vegas. So, and I think there are still hotel rooms at the Mirage, but there's thousands of hotels in Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
don't
And
feel
also,
constrained.
this year we got a very sweet deal with the hotel. I think the hotel room rates were just $99 plus the
Wow.
tax. Yeah.
Yes, you can there's a link to that on the CF Summit website, and I'll put that link in the show notes. But it's basically cfsummit.adobeevents.com, and there's a special link to get that price. Or you can pay twice as much by going to the Mirage Hotel site.
Oh, yes. That is also.
So yeah, that's also possible. Because sometimes people have corporate travel and
Mm.
they just book things how they book things. So is there anything else people can do in Las Vegas other than learn cold fusion, or is it a bit of a quiet city?
Yes, it's a very quiet city. They go to sleep by 8 o'clock, and the city is probably dead by 9:30. So if you want to take all the action before that, I think you should do that.
You've got such a great straight face.
If you haven't walked on the strip in the evening, that's one good thing that you should do. And Mirage itself has the Tiger Zoo. That's something which I like. So I'd never seen tigers so close.
They don't have them in Bangalore where Adobe
They
headquarters is?
have, but they don't have the white tigers.
Oh, okay.
And those are
That,
extremely well fed. As you rightly said, they're extremely well fed. And
yes, anyone who fails the CF certification will be optionally fed to the tigers. No, just kidding
yeah,
there.
right.
Um, but yeah, and there's also a volcano outside. It's like a replica of a real volcano, and it
Mhm.
erupts every like half hour or I don't
Every
know what
half
it's.
an hour. I
Yeah.
think they start at 4 o'clock, and that goes on till like 10.
Wow. Um, and then there's a zillion. There must be 200 or 300 shows. Big shows, musicals, magic shows, celebrities
Yeah.
shows. Some shows that we can't mention on this G-rated podcast. Um, so just to mention some of the ones we can mention, the Blue Man Group, Chris Angel's Mind Freak Magic Show,
Cirque du
Elvis
Soleil.
Presley, impersonator, not the original Elvis
Yeah.
Presley.
Yeah, the
Um,
Cirque du Soleil shows happening. So,
have you ever been to a Cirque du Soleil show?
oh, yes.
Oh,
Been to a
okay.
couple of them.
Yeah, I think there's like six or seven of them.
Yes.
I see there's a Michael Jackson show, there's a Beatles show, there's a
Car.
car.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a Cirque du Soleil.
oh, is
So
also
all
a Cirque du Soleil. So,
yes, and then the not only is the Mirage amazing, but if you get a chance to go to visit some of the other casinos on the strip, it's like an adult theme park. They've got. I don't know if you've seen Paris. They have like an Eiffel Tower outside, and inside it looks like 19th century Paris. The Venetian with gondolas, and you can kind of
oh, yeah.
go around there. And then there's Caesar's Palace. You can pretend you're a Roman emperor, and it's just. I think excessive. It might be the right word. Over the top,
Yes.
entertaining. It's an amazing place. And then there's a lot of restaurants and bars in Las Vegas, suffice to say. And I guess we're allowed to say this because marijuana got legalized in Las Vegas. You can even do that there. Shouldn't tell anyone that. We didn't inhale. Um, you mentioned some things that were new this year. The CF certification's new, but is there anything else new this year we should highlight?
Uh, Nothing else. It's the same thing that we used to have.
Okay, same exciting stuff as last
Same
year.
exact stuff. Yeah.
And of course, new location. So,
The location is something where we had been in 2017. I think 2017 we
okay,
were in Mirage.
okay,
2018
good.
we moved to Hard Rock. Then we are back.
Yes,
Yeah.
that came back. Well, Hard Rock's being redeveloped, so we couldn't do it there
Mhm.
again.
Yes.
Now, for folks, I know everyone is mouth-wateringly ready to go to Las Vegas for CF Summit West, but just in case, for whatever crazy reason, they can't do that, either because their boss thinks that going to Las Vegas is not a business expense, or maybe they're just in the wrong location and it's hard to get
Mm.
to. Wait, what other CF summits are happening in the next year?
So we have a CF Summit in India, which is going to happen in December first week, and we have a CF Summit in DC, which will be in April of next year, and we're also planning on having another event in Europe next year.
Oh, you are? That's
Yes.
news. So separate from CF Camp that's happening in Europe.
Yes, or have a one-day event before CF Camp. Mishi
Ooh,
is a very good friend of ours, so we might have to talk to him to see what we could do.
And I think I saw that Rakshit is going to be at CF Camp.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to be there or not, but
Rakshit and me are going to be at CF Camp.
you're going to be there. All
Yeah.
right. You can be German for the week.
Oh,
yeah. We just did an interview with the CF Camp folks, so I'll put the link to that. But it's in the middle of October this year, so
it's on October 17th and 18th.
Yeah. So you've just got time to recover from CF Summit, and then you can go to CF Camp in Europe.
Yes. Just have like 4 or 5 days, then go back.
Yes. Then you'll be back to India, and you can relax somewhat. Well, very cool. So anything else you want to share about CF Summit before we switch to more general questions I ask every person on the podcast?
Nothing much. If you want to join the 450 plus ColdFusion developers, you just have a week more to register. And looking forward to all the CF developers who already registered.
Yeah, I if anyone's on the fence, I found it an amazing event. Learned a lot of new stuff. Met really interesting people. Chance to meet people at Adobe, and met some old friends, made some new friends. So, of course, when I was there, I was promoting my book CF Alive, and I'll have a few copies of that with me this year, and some unusual extra things that you'll have to come up and ask me for. So I'll keep that secret. Let's turn to the questions. So why are you proud to use ColdFusion? You've used it for many years now.
I'm proud to use ColdFusion because, it still gets job done quickly and efficiently like no other platform does. That's the primary reason why I still use ColdFusion for a couple of my projects as well. You don't have to worry about, you just have to figure out how to do things, but ColdFusion already provides you with those capabilities. That's why and this has been the same way as I told you before, I started using ColdFusion, I think it was in 1998 or
1998, that was version 1.
1999 types, okay.
Oh, maybe that was version 2 by 1999.
So from that, I was not a full-fledged user of ColdFusion, but I just knew, a couple of my friends used to show it around saying that, hey, see how cool it is to get things done. And I think 2003, 2004, I don't know, one of those years, someone showed me how pagination could be done. But
I was never looked back.
I was not a full-fledged ColdFusion developer per se, but I don't know. I think it's fate. They just kept pulling me inside.
Very cool. So you mentioned earlier, and I've talked about this a bit, some people, think ColdFusion's dying, but I'm on this mission to make ColdFusion more alive, hence the podcast and the book, all the articles we write on our blog. So in your view, what would it take to make ColdFusion more alive this year?
More community participation. I think you have most of the major cities have ColdFusion user groups. If it is not, then we will help you guys to create a user group, provide whatever is needed to make it a success. But as far as I know, Adobe is committed towards the platform, and we are working on the 2020 release and also looking forward. Adobe always plans 2 releases down the line. So that tells you that we have already planned for the next release after 2020 as well. So from a product perspective, Adobe is there and Adobe is committed to the product. What we need is community participation and good frameworks to go along with it, good products that is being built on top of ColdFusion. So I think that is what is going to make, and newer stuff that you could do to showcase that this could be done using ColdFusion.
And I know there's a place on the Adobe website where you've got some showcase things
Yes.
of companies and people who've built ColdFusion products. How do people get into that? Do they email you or
Yes.
some?
All they have to do is just email me, tell them what sort of solution they had built about their company, and we'll get in touch with them and get a case study done. Because
Wow.
that
Okay.
case study clearly shows what are the cool things that people have built.
Now, you mentioned community participation in running a CFUG, building products and tools for ColdFusion, and showcase. Are there any other ways people can help out, participating in the ColdFusion community?
There's community forums at coldfusion.adobe.com. People could help out there as well, and just keep keep the word spreading around. And if they feel that they're stuck somewhere, what will be great is if they could reach out to our team, and we would obviously get in touch with whomever it is and try to help them out.
So, having mentioned that the way to get these things going is to email you, I think we better give out your email.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yes. Which is Kishore at adobe.com. Couldn't be easier. Kishore is Kishore. And I'll put that in the show notes as well. So
Sure.
you can find it along with your Twitter profile and Facebook.
Yeah.
And a beautiful picture of you outside Adobe headquarters. So people can
And
recognize you
either
when
that, or they could also mail to Adobe ColdFusion at adobe.com.
Oh, I better write that one down. Adobe ColdFusion, one word, at adobe.com.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one. I've learned something new too.
Yeah. That's an alias which has all the key decision makers of the product. So that'll be there. At least one of us will respond, whomever it is. Like if it is a support team, if it is a support escalation, someone from the support team will respond to it. If it is a product side, someone from the product team will respond to it.
Okay, cool. So final question here is, what are you looking forward to at CF Summit yourself?
I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of great stories. And there are a couple of folks whom we had interacted with, but I have not met with them. So I'm more interested in meeting new people and learning about new technologies and hearing how we could help them out and how they could help us.
Fabulous. Well, I will see you at CF Summit very soon. And thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Michaela. It's always a pleasure.